Common information security strategies. Things that pretty much make sense. They're based on the processes. You got a process, you want to protect it. You want to make sure that people are following it. You want to safeguard things. You want to monitor it. You want to base it on roles that people do, functions that are done within the organization, and best practices. Industry usually has found the best way to do things. NIST has found great ways to do things. Sometimes it's so extreme that it's a little difficult or locks things down so tight, and this can be a little crazy that way. But they produce a lot of great documentation on best practices. So you want to build a business case. We're going to lose less if we implement security. We're going to reduce our liability. We're not going to be found guilty of negligence. These are great business case builders, any of those statements. Implementing a risk management process. Reduce the risk to a manageable, acceptable level, and then accept that level. Identify baseline controls. The absolute minimum you must have to be compliant generally with the law, or the minimum standard that your organization says, you go below this, you cannot do that function, you cannot bring that system online because it's too risky. Managing information security initiatives, new ideas coming out, whether or not they're going to be implemented, you're going to analyze them, look at them, and say, do they make sense? Do they actually provide the bang for the buck? Are they cost effective? Do they offset more than they raise? Do they work in synergy with other things? Can you work in your architecture, in your framework to add more in later? Monitoring the effectiveness of the initiatives. If they don't work, if they cost too much, they don't work with other things, they don't play well. Why am I thinking of Robert Fulghum? All you need to know you learned in kindergarten. Yeah, you got to play with the other kids, right? These controls have to play with other controls. If they don't, they may not make sense. Even if it's cost effective, it may not make sense for your overall architecture, in which case it may not be a good choice. So you'll have to find another cost-effective control. And conducting security reviews and audits. If you don't know what's happening in your systems, you're not going to control them. Someone else eventually will. And they're going to do harm. They're not your friends on the outside. They're people that want to see you suffer. Competition may do you harm. It may just be little Johnny Hacker out there who couldn't get a date on Friday night, decided your company was more fun than hanging around at home counting his pimples. Not a good thing for you when he's doing that. Review your stuff, audit it, make sure it's actually effective, it works, find new holes, patch them, secure them, put in new controls that are cost effective.